Well, it is Freedom to Rock Friday. My partners in crime, Vinny, left, but again, we are in COVID environment. We have to stay apart, but he is joining us on the bottom of my screen, and to my right, no, the other way, to my
Yeah.
left, that would be the other half of our team here, the great Joe Madden from YYC. She's enjoying the lovely sunny weather they're having out there, Vinny. I think they're minus 40 degrees or something like that. And then we have a special co-host joining us from Hustle and Grind, the great Cammy P, also I believe from YYC, and he's to the corner or whatever the hell the corner he is. But Cammy, how you doing, buddy?
Good. How are you?
Great. Hey guys, you know what? Freedom to Rock Friday every Friday 5 p.m. We are obviously powered by Stables Media. You know what, guys? It's been a whirlwind of a day. I'm going to be on the show for a few minutes with you guys, but first I want to thank everyone out there for all their condolences, all the love, all the well wishes for my cousin who had passed, and not only for my cousin, guys. I want to say this in general for everybody that has passed, not only this year but the past of this virus is just unbelievable. And if I have one thing to say that I can say to everyone that since we're doing it live, pick up that damn phone and just talk to someone and tell them you love them. And if you haven't talked to them for a while, it doesn't matter if you're mad or not, whatever. Just call them up, and they don't want to talk to you. At least you tried, guys. So that being said, guys, I love each and every one of you guys out there. Thank you, everyone, for all those well wishes. Again, Green Rock Friday. We start off. We want to see some laughs. Vinny, how you doing, my friend? I see you got the shades going on. I see you upgraded the set there. What do you got? The New York Giants in the back, baby.
Yeah, the Blue Crew, right? You know, a lot of people back east don't know my story, but used to go to my grandmother's house every weekend, and I mean, you could hit Giant Stadium with a stone. So got to stay true to the roots. But yeah, we spare no expense here at Stables Media on set designs. You know that.
I was gonna say this, Vinny. What the hell, man? Did you get a check in the mail, royalties or something like that? All of a sudden, you went from that green, beautiful one, that one that we wanted you to come out of. Now all of a sudden, you got the Giants, man. Look at that. I can't even go out and buy my buddy Vinny up there. My parent Vinny, he can't even talk because he's hungry. I can't even afford food. I don't know what the hell's going on, Vinny.
And check out the guitar too, right? That's not just a prop.
No, it looks beautiful.
That's right. I didn't see the guitar. I thought that was somebody. I thought that was like somebody holding that thing up for you. That's a guitar.
Yeah, it's a Statue of Liberty, right?
It's beautiful, buddy. It is beautiful. Joe had, so everybody knows this beforehand, and you know me, I will never hold anything back here. Beforehand, Joe had a little issue of cooking pizza, Italian pizza.
It wasn't me. It was my mom.
Well, Joe, please.
Don't tell her.
Joe, let me hold on a second, guys. Hold on. All right. Now the captain's talking. You guys got to listen. So Joe had an issue that she was trying to cook pizza, and I guess she forgot to take the pizza out of the box and the wrapper, and they put it in the oven. No. And there was a fire of some sort. Because Cammy, am I correct? Before I came on, you're like, "Hey, Tony, all this swearing, all this stuff," and you hear a fire alarm, and then you heard someone say, "Call 911. We might need a fire truck." I'm like, "Just go outside and grab some snow, man. You guys can put it out." You know?
So more than enough snow to cover it.
Yeah.
Okay, so we did take it out the box. My mom turned the oven way too way too hot. So then as soon as I opened the door, all the fire alarms started going off. Not just 1, 2, 3 alarms were going off. So my son was at one waving at, my mom was at another. I couldn't turn off the oven. I couldn't get the pizzas out. Didn't have a tray. We were swearing at each other. It was just family times.
I'm trying to get a bad episode of Rescue 911.
Oh, we were all laughing, though. We were laughing. So we weren't swearing at each other, like mad at each other.
I would imagine that was a lot of laughs too, but I was
laughing.
Was there actual, like, we were too? Yeah, you're right. It was kind of funny because you guys.
We had a great time.
They thought that she was on mute. That's why. And oh man, I never thought Joe could swear that way, man.
Oh, she was a trucker. She had a trucker mouth there.
I do have. Well,
I've actually never heard some of those swear words that came out of her mouth. There are some of them that are brand new.
Okay, you guys, I'm originally from Australia. I lived there till 14, and My dad uses the F word like it's a punctuation within a sentence, not even at the end. So
Hey, Joe,
They
did you ever-
say it's a sign of intelligence and creativity in women to swear like a sailor. So
and
props
that's
I-
to
I-
you.
ignorant.
My experience has been, I would agree, honestly.
are we saying, Vinny, that's only for women? Because I swear a lot too, and I think I'm a little bit intelligent. I don't know.
I can only speak on behalf of the women that I've known. I haven't known too many men. So, Cameron?
No, I'm saying me.
I
Vinny.
defer.
When I talk, by the way, guys, when I talk to Vinny, sometimes the F bomb usually does come out a lot. And it's just a natural way because obviously being in the bar business, you sometimes have that lingo. And I remember one time a friend of mine said, Tony, you're using the F word. You don't realize it because, when you're in that environment, and Vinny, you could contest to this, when you're in an environment of being around, musicians, they act a certain way too. You kind of have that motto. So I had to kind of scale back afterwards because I was using bar lingo a lot, and I still do every once in a while when I get upset. But you know what? That's life, man. It's better than being an asshole, I guess.
But if you actually look at it, the F word expresses more range of emotion than any other word in the English dictionary. So you can use it in any case, whether you're mad, happy, sad, everything.
Now,
Yeah,
who
great
the hell- I want to know who the hell invited Cammy on this show.
Oh, didn't you know it's the Cammy P show?
Oh my
Freedom of
God.
Cam.
All of a sudden, we got you got the intellectual. He's going to bring out the dictionary out and sit there and start talking about which word is the best way to use.
Yeah,
I'm
Yes,
just saying,
Mr.
it's the
Sorry.
only word in the dictionary you
By
can
the
word in that many different emotions.
By the way, I just want everybody to know the F word. It is an emotional word that means that while you're doing it, you actually love someone. Or if you say it some way, it means that you hate someone. Or if you say, "Oh, F," and you got hurt. So thank you, Cammy, for telling everybody about that. I appreciate that. Willie
I'm a
Wilson,
He is
plethora
a
of knowledge.
master of big words. That's what I call him.
Willie Wilson, hey, Willie Wilson, right or not, you're fucking smart. But, hey, Willie, I've been told that many
Hi,
times.
Willie.
And even by my father in the Italian way. So I have to sit there and accept that as a compliment, right, Vinny?
Oh yeah, I've been sworn at from people around the world, so I would concur.
I am. Hey, wait a minute. Hold the press. I think Jesse figured out which button to press to come on the show here. I'm going to leave him in the green room a little bit. So I think he might be having a few of the joints that we left him in the green room. He enjoys that. I think he even bought a pizza. So we're going to hold, Jesse, we're going to hold tight for a couple more minutes. We're going to bring you in, buddy. So get ready. Get all spruced up. You eat anything you want in that green room, dude. It's on Stables Media, so don't worry about it, brother. All right? So hold on.
We put it on the hustle and grind account yet again, Tony.
Perfect.
We're in arrears.
So you basically got him a bowl of peanuts. That's it.
Watch
That's all that
hustle and grind
can
every
afford right now.
Monday.
And Willie Wilson says,
I like it, Vince.
Willie said your father was effing lying. No, Willie, one thing my dad don't do is lie. He just sits there and tells it how it is. And sometimes it's just not he embellishes the truth a little bit, maybe. That's what I should say, right? Vinny, what do you think?
Yeah,
Or-
yeah.
or-
He's a pretty good swearer on his own.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
He was great. Last time he was on, he was great. It was awesome.
Please. I had enough. I had enough people contact me, and they want. Oh, you got to have your dad on. I had Stephanie. They were going to do a show together. I'm going to do the whole show, and I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, holy cow!
I like your dad on the shows.
Stables Media just let go of all of its staff for Tony's dad.
Yeah, that's
He's on every
almost.
show.
Hey, almost. Everybody's sitting there saying, "Hey, I got to sit there and have your dad. He's ideal. At a winery, sitting down and having one-on-one." I'm like, Vinny, didn't we say that that's what we wanted to do? Like have a one-on-one?
Yeah, man. But I would pay good, hard-earned American bucks to see Homeboy on Pondering Mics. Gotta tell you,
We're gonna do that. Hey,
pay-per-view.
I want to send out some shout outs also. Also, Willie Wilson, thank you. Kenneth, thank you right here. He said, thank you for love the laughs. I appreciate it. You know what, guys? That right there alone, just by one person saying that we make them laugh and they take that time out of their day to join us because they have other things to do. Everybody have choices. That right there makes it all worth the time and the effort that we put in as a team. And when I say the team, it's not me, it's not Vinny, it's not Cammy, it's not Joe. It's a team, the entire Stables network. So I thank you again. guys, from the bottom of my heart. Let's bring in Jesse. I don't know if he's got a shirt on, if he doesn't, but here he is, man. Let's go, Jesse. What's happening, brother? Can you hear us, Jesse?
Yes, I can hear you.
We can hear you too.
We can hear you, brother. We see you good, man. How you doing, brother?
I had to. I couldn't get my iPhone to work, so I had to turn on one of my old phones that doesn't even have phone service, but it works on the Wi-Fi. So
But
hopefully
it's got Wi-Fi that works enough. It's good enough.
I have no idea.
All right, hold on, Jesse. The other day you said, Tony, I got an iPhone 12. Don't worry about it. Now you had to go get what, the iPhone 6 and stash in the drawer with all those bad pictures on.
Yeah.
You actually connected it to Wi-Fi.
No, I got a freaking. This is an Android phone. My iPhone 12 doesn't want to do it.
None of them,
It
eh?
is. It's freaking. I was trying to get it to work, but somehow I got the Android to work.
Well, you know what?
I don't know. My life's hard.
Hey, hey, Jesse, thank you for coming on. We appreciate it. We're going to start asking you some questions. I'm going to sit there and say a couple more shout-outs here. Stephanie says, she goes, what, I missed it. Were you talking about dinner with your dad? Not a bad dinner idea. Yeah, you know that. You'll be invited. Don't worry. Stephanie wants to do a show. This is what Stephanie's talking about. And by the way, it's already executive produced, so nobody can really take this idea. He wants to sit there and do a show sitting down with Sarducci at dinner. And
that sounds good. Can we get some spaghetti and pizza?
Well, that's the whole thing, Jesse. She wants to invite people like yourself and Vinny and like have 3 or 4 people and that are from the local area and sit down and have dinner while he cooks your dinner, by the way, because he's actually a pretty good cook. And then ask him about questions throughout his life and actually have it video. He probably won't have me at the dinner table because I'm not allowed. But you know
I don't
what?
think I can even park 6 feet away from the house, so you could probably count me out.
Really?
I'm sorry.
Hey, Vinny, if you come in, we come in and we bring Stephanie and tell him that he won't kick you out. I guarantee you and Stephanie coming together, he won't kick you out. It's just when you and I are together, that's when he'll kick us out.
Okay, I can run faster than the both of you. So.
Yeah, that's all you have to do. Be the fastest runner.
Willie said, let me guess, it's an Android. Yeah, it is an Android. Well, Willie, you know what? He's saying the F word. I don't understand. Willie likes to use the F word. Jesse.
The Android phone works better than the iPhone. I've had a few, and I have all these stupid security questions and bullshit with the thing. I don't understand what's going on.
Well, I'll tell you this, and just we talk about Androids and iPhones. I know it's kind of a weird subject to talk about right now on Freedom of Rock, but we are kind of crazy. Every person that I've talked to that are that's in the musical industry or production industry, whatever it may be, all said, Tony, get an Android, get a Samsung, get one of the, because you own everything that's on it. Apple, unfortunately, everything that you sit there and have and it goes back up to the iCloud, they own everything. Right, it's all theirs. So you have to sit, even though technically it's yours, it's all theirs. And if they want, they could shut it down, say something where they lost it, whatever it may be. But unlike Android, Samsung, whatever it may be, it's very much a lot better for production, videos, and all that stuff. So that's just kind of maybe we'll get Android to sponsor this show. Or the Samsung. That'd be great. Here's Lisa. Here's Lisa D says. Lisa says Apple's the best. Yeah, that's because Lisa, you got a sugar daddy that buys you all that stuff. That's why.
Yeah.
You must know how it works too, because I can't fucking figure this damn phone out. It's actually a question for me. The phone has a question for me every time I try to do something.
Dude,
you know, you want to do this? Are you okay with this? You know,
Jesse, let me ask you. I'm going to stay on the show for a little bit, but I want to ask you a couple questions. So when you went to that phone and it asked you, because the Apple 12, I know has the iPhone 12 has the face recognition with your eye deal.
I did that, and then I turned it off.
You can't be stoned when you're doing that, brother, because your eye is getting on it. I'm telling you.
It detects the red.
It's not the weed that's doing it, man. I've been a professional stoner as much as a skateboarder for years.
Hey, that's classic, dude. That is classic. So, Jesse, tell us a little bit about you, just kind of a synopsis, and then everybody
Okay.
else will start talking and doing some questions for you, and then we'll go from there. So, fire away. After
So
you take that hit
whatever.
off that joint.
I've been a professional skateboarder for. Sorry, I've been a professional skateboarder for like 20 years. I ride for Pope Skate skateboards and Gravity skateboards, which are two different companies that make boards. And due to COVID and money issues, my boards are all sold out, which is actually cool.
Wow.
I
That's
hope
awesome.
that Gravity skateboards will be able to put out a batch soon. But like I said, due to this whole COVID thing and everything like that, everything's weird. Pope Skates doesn't have a bunch of loot, and he tries to get his boards made in the middle where Gravity boards are made in like China, unfortunately. But if you can find one,
Jesse, let me ask you this, because you and I have talked
I
a
have
few
one
times
too.
on yeah, I saw that. I saw that you had one for Christmas time, but all the boards are completely sold out. Is that just because of the manufacturing issues that you guys are having, or is it just because obviously that they're very popular?
It's the popularity and the manufacturing stuff. So if anybody wants to see, it's a Beastie Boys graphic. If you're into Beastie Boys,
Oh, nice.
it's the first album graphic with the plane crashed into the mountain or whatever.
Oh, so cool.
That's awesome.
And
I love it.
don't know,
I love
it's
I
got
love
my-
it. So everybody knows I tried to get a board because I talked to Jesse for Christmas because I wanted to get one for my son, and he said, "Dude, they're all sold out." I'm like, "Wow," and I'm like, "Unbelievable." So Jesse, congratulations on that. How long have you been with Gravity?
I rode for Gravity for at least 15 years, and unfortunately, I had the misfortune of losing my job this week as an electrician. So I'm looking for work. If anybody knows that they have an electrician job, I'm down to take it. Otherwise, whatever, it sucks. But I got plenty of money enough to hang out. Gravity sent me a check for my sold boards, and I have a prospect for work on Monday, so I'll be good.
Yeah, I think you'll be fine, Jesse, and I think you'll get a lot of people. I saw it on the post. There's a lot of people sending their info to you for jobs and information on electricians. So I hope that you land something, and then we'll get together too, and maybe down the line we can sit there and do something. But guys, fire away. Start throwing some questions out. I'm going to hang out for about 5 more minutes. Before that, I want everybody to say hi to David Andrews. David sends his love to everybody. Cammy, Jesse, Joe, Vince. David, thank you for your condolences.
Hey, David.
I truly appreciate it. Guys, thank you from everyone out there from the bottom of my heart. I can't be more blessed to have the family and friends that surround me. So thank you. Lisa, I think she says, "Hey, Jesse, can I get a board signed so I can hang it on my computer room and I'll give you free pics?" I don't think you need free pics, but you know what? You never know. But we'll sit there. We'll talk about that, Lisa. Man, ladies.
She's working it. That was my question, Lady D.
Well, hold on a second, because I know Lisa can afford a board, and now she's trying to get a board signed. But I'm sure Jesse, once we get him, he will sign him. And then here's Willie Wilson. Look at this, Jesse. Willie says, "I know it."
Yeah, I will number. I will number and sign the skateboards as you get them. So if you order one and you're in the local San Diego area, I'm happy to meet with you and sign your board. If yours, we can have a beer or something like that.
That's awesome.
If you,
hey Jesse, I don't know if you see it on your screen here. Willie Wilson
and want it signed. But if you do order one and want it signed, I will sign it. I don't have a problem with that. And they are kind of limited. As far as I'm 5, everybody wants to know. I'm getting old, and skate as much as possible. I ride for Powerflex wheels. If you guys skate at all, and they're probably the best on the market as far as non-flat spots. Also get Shark Wheels, which is that company that has the square wheels. Or they look square, but they're round.
Jesse,
they're great for cruising.
What's the best trucks out there?
Well, I ride tracker trucks. But I've ridden for Randall, which makes the reverse symmetry, which is kind of like Paris, and a bunch of the other downhill trucks. They were good. Independent are always awesome because everybody loves independent.
Yeah, indies are good.
But Ace is basically the original independent truck. But I've been getting a few pairs of free tracker trucks. I mean, it takes me like a year to grind through the trucks. I don't have my board with me right now. This one, no, it doesn't have trucks. I was looking. I grind the trucks to the axle, all the way to the axle.
All the way down, eh?
Wow.
Yeah, all the.
What's
way
the best bearings? Reds were
I'm riding this. I rode the Reds, and the Reds used to explode, and I didn't like that. Otherwise, the normal main Powell Swiss are good, but the guy who makes the Shark wheels gave me his bearings, and they've been really good. They're called Shark Shivers.
Nice.
And I've been riding them almost a year, I think. No breakage.
Oh wow!
No freeze up.
That's really good.
Okay, so Jesse,
yeah, they're really good.
So you've been running professionally for 20 years, because I'm going to take a few more minutes. I'm going to go to the bottom of the hour, and then I'm going to have you guys take over with Jesse. But one of the questions I had, because obviously, growing up in the sixth sport, and Vinny, you know this, we had a lot of professional skateboarders come out of here. Obviously, the Frank Fathers, they were very well known. Obviously, Tony Hawk out of San Diego. Are these the guys that you grew up with too?
I didn't really grow up with Tony Hawk and those guys, but in my later years because I am a longboarder and it's a whole different profession of skateboarding, the board I ride is 38 inches, 48 inches. Most kids ride a 32, and obviously I don't have a way to show perspective on things like that. But when, your average kid that's 10 who's riding a 32-inch board, they're basically riding a 40-inch or 38-inch board in perspective. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Jesse,
the kids are riding longboard.
So let me ask you this, Jesse. As a child, like for my son, for example, he's 8 years old and he wants to start riding. Would you recommend going towards the longer boards as starting off, or do you sit there and have the boards like I still have my board that I had when I was 16 years old in the garage, and he loves it. It's one of the old boards. I should bring it out, but yeah, I'm just trying to think which is the best way that you would recommend a child starting to ride on.
Well, if your kid is already riding like a 31-inch board, then let them stick with it. And for what my hopes is, because I'm kind of like a unicorn in the business. Longboarding is really big in Brazil and Japan, and in California it's not quite so much. The average longboarder is the person who buys a board to maybe go down the boardwalk, and
just to cruise.
My my skateboard is a performance board. I do ollies, I do kick flips. You know, I skate pools, I skate ditches. You know, I skate all kinds of stuff. I don't know. You can't see much of a deck anyway, but you
No,
know, I promote performance. You know, not just cruising. I mean, cruising's cool. You know, you can buy my board and cruise on it all day long. You know.
no, we're gonna sit there
And
and
otherwise, this can be.
what we're going to do too is we're going to have you back on, and you're going to stay on here with them, but I'm going to have you on another show where Vinny and I will actually come live to where you're at, where maybe a skate park, and we're going to we'll do a show where the
Totally, yeah. We can go to like the pump track in Karma Valley, or I can go to Poway Park.
Yeah, I'd love that. I mean, obviously today was rainy, guys.
Because I know you're in the Poway area, right?
Yeah, but we can travel. Vinny's got a limousine. We can travel.
Yeah. Tony's got health insurance, man. It's all good.
He'll take extra long to get there because he's going to go under the speed limit, but he will get there.
Hey, Jesse, I want to say this before I get off. One of the things that I remember when I was younger, obviously, you're a little bit younger than I am, but skating in our friend's backyard swimming pool. Kind of like an obsolete thing now because
swimming pools are the best.
Yeah. Is that like I mean, a lot of kids don't realize
we can go on stories for that with me for hours.
Hey, I'm gonna leave you at that, guys. I'm gonna get off the show.
I've skated at least 100.
That's awesome.
All right, so listen, guys. I want to sit there and tell. First of all, Jesse, thank you. I'm gonna be getting off the show because obviously I have a few personal things I have to take care of due to the loss of my cousin. But I want to say personally, thank you for coming on. I will be back in touch with you. Don't leave because they're going to still ask you questions and they're going to sit there and take questions from other people that are on. So everybody out there, thank you. Joe, thank you very much. Cammie, thank you very much. Vinny, I love you, brother. I'll be in touch with you. Jesse, I love you, man. Thank you so much for coming on. And then we will have a live show again. But thank you, brother. I mean it from the bottom of my heart. Guys, I might check back in with you guys later. Have a great show. Okay, guys? Thank you.
Thanks, Tony.
You got it.
Love you.
Love you.
Okay, Jesse. So I got a question. Tell me how you became to be a professional skateboarder, because I don't know how someone goes about doing that. No clue.
Well, when I was 6, I got a skateboard.
Okay.
And then I rode it. And had a lot of fun. Rolling was cool. Then I saw these videos. Back in the day, you could go to the skateboard shop and you could rent skate videos. So I would go in and rent a skate video, and I was like, wow, okay, this is cool. I didn't know skateboarding was like this, you know? So I saved up my money. I bought a board, and I was like, all right, I got to get this thing set up, you know? And I didn't have shit for equipment. I didn't grow up in any privileged neighborhood, being white privileged or something, somehow like that, you know, and just skated a lot and went through boards. And eventually I did get sponsored. You know, this guy, it was called Low Tech Industries. He made skateboards in Escondido. So he would give me boards, and I would get, you know, I don't know, 4 or 5 boards a month, you know, which is more than enough. You know, it's, you only need a couple boards a week, really, or less, you know. And I would get those things. And then I went from Low Tech, I went to another company that was actually called Aircraft, and they were out of Poway, and they made aluminum extruded skateboards from an extrusion that came out of a machine or whatever, you know, and then they pressed it and made it into a skateboard somehow. I don't know. It was some crazy stuff. And they put like a wood end cap in it so it would feel like you thought you were skating wood, or you could get a plastic one that would last like till the board was dead, probably. Then I got sponsored by a longboard company that sponsored this guy who rode for the Alva team, which maybe you guys know or not.
I know the
named
Alva name, yeah.
Mark Partain. And Mark Partain, and then he also rode for Blockhead Skateboards, which is another local California brand. And he got me onto this company. It was called Aircraft, and they made aircraft aluminum skateboards. And
Jeez.
yeah, and they were cool. They were strong. A metal skateboard's pretty indestructible, but any skateboard's breakable. It's not like everything's not, destroyable. But he also rode for a guy who made longboards, and I had played around with longboards. I bought a Think longboard from the company Think when it was in business. I don't believe it's in business anymore. But from Mitch's surf shop, which if you're familiar with the area, Mitch's is local. He sold me the board for like $40, and I rode that, and I tried to hook up with the Gravity team, and things just didn't work out at that moment. So then I hooked up with the company that Mark Partain rode for, which was Terminal Velocity Street Boards, called TVS. We had a lot of great professional riders on the team, and unfortunately they didn't have enough money to recoup from getting ripped off from some people from like Indonesia or something like that ordered all the product, and it went that way. But I eventually got onto Gravity skateboards and rode there for, I don't know, more than 15 years or so, and it transferred owners and this and that, and I'm still on the team, and it's all about the distribution of skateboards, to make it from China or Mexico to America, and with this whole COVID game. And really, there's no money in professional skateboarding. I made $800 for those guys for like a year, so it's not like paying the bills. But
Yeah.
hopefully, it might change up a little bit. Like I said, I'm 45, and otherwise I just need to, work. I have a wheel sponsor, PowerFlex wheels. If you guys do skate, PowerFlex wheels are really good.
Oh, nice.
I don't know how much they cost, but they're pretty unflat spottable, and they ride hard and fast. And this is my second pair in like a year, so they barely give them to me. But the owner, Jim Gray, is a really good guy, and the product is really good. So I'll stand behind it in that manner, Not really in skateboarding for the money anymore, Being at my age, it's like, how much can I expect? I'm not Tony Hawk. I mean, I've been in crazy contests with Dave Hackett and Steve Olson. I've rode with the legends, fortunately, because of longboarding. I've gotten to skate with people that you wouldn't think of skating with. Like, I've skated with Jeff Tatum. Jeff Tatum is the guy who made the backside ollie in a pool. I skated with Ollie Alflin Gelflin, whatever the heck his name is, from Powell, who made the front side. Alan Ollie Gelflin is his name, Alan. He made the front side ollie in a pool. you know, and Dave Hackett did the loop at 50, and he's got to be 60 something right now, you know, and it's,
Crazy.
you know, we
Hey,
all
Jesse.
still skate. Yeah.
Jesse, I'm a pool guy. So if you have a hard time finding an empty pool, just call in your boy in the 6'4" because I'll find you a spot. But listen, if I could, I want to talk to you a little bit about roots. Being that you did grow up in Poway, we have a lot of Poway people on. I'm sure they're recognizing your name, so I really want to thank you for coming on. But tell us about your roots personally. Growing up in the 6'4" and how growing up in Poway led you into the skating field per se, and why do you think Poway was so popular amongst skateboarders?
Unfortunately, I didn't exactly grow up in Poway. I grew up in Rancho Penasquitos, but I mean, it's right next door, you know?
Yeah.
And I grew up when there was like a plane tower in the middle of Poway Road somehow, and there was no airport. And I used to ask my mom, like, what is that? You know? But otherwise, I mean, I skated all the ditches in Poway. I used to ride the Poway transport bus. You guys probably, if you lived in Poway, you rode the bus. And I had a friend, I don't know if anybody knows Troy Brown. He owned a half pipe. It was a spine ramp. It was right off of Pomerado and Kirkham or something like that. It goes up to the business park. Maybe it's Poway and Business Park. And we skated that ramp a lot. We skated the ditch. It was right by his house. And I guess Troy Brown turned out to be Officer Brown, but I'm not sure. I kind of lost touch with him. We used to skate the Poway banks out in the back of the business park and just like all the ditches, and I rode my dirt bike, around, not dirt bike, real dirt bike, BMX bike, when I skated, because I'm a skater, I'm a dirt biker, whatever, and I do ride a dirt bike now, but I've lived between Poway and Penasquitos. I lived there when there was cows in Sabre Springs, and that place wasn't even freaking there,
Do you think that helped that you had so many places that you and your friends could go and practice your art, because that's really what it is? I know, speaking personally,
sure.
Also growing up in Poway, I was able to go places and play music with my friends who were doing the same thing because that's the way our town was. So I'm sure you had a lot of brothers out there who were doing what you were doing. How do you feel it affected you as far as your actual art?
Well, I liked it because, as skateboarding is, it's kind of renegade, so you got to kind of find your spot where you can go. But we can go back into more history is, when I was 15, 16, I was going to the skate park meetings to get the Penasquitos skate park built. And then we were going to, City Hall where the skate park is built, or not City Hall, whatever the fuck it was. We did sorry for the F word, where we did the Pop Warner dances in Poway. I'm sure you remember that.
I remember I played at some of
meetings
them. Yeah,
for the Poway
brother. Yeah. And you mentioned the community center, which, as I remember, was like the hotspot for skaters to meet up. And it's funny now because to my eyes in Poway pre-COVID, it still is.
People still skate there. The Poway skate park is maybe a little bit over policed. I think that unfortunately, as people they don't understand the skateboard culture, and that's the problem. Like I got busted skateboarding last week or so, I think it was, on a Monday. We went to this parking garage. It was after hours. The people should have been off work, you know, which they care what we're doing, you know. So, you know, you guys don't really know me, but I like to bring my boombox to the skate spot, and even sometimes some beers. And we weren't drinking beers at the time, luckily, because we would have probably gotten tickets or something dumb. But the cops come down there and they're like, you know, we got called on you. What are you guys doing here? What is this? And I'm like, well, we're doing slappies. And the cop's like, well, what's slappies? You know, so if you don't know skateboarding, slappies is skateboarding curbs that are waxed by the skateboarders, which maybe we shouldn't do because that's what skateboarders do. They go find a place where they can go and skate and grind curbs or ledges or whatever. You know, it doesn't have to be the skate park, you know, big ramps and all that stuff. And the cops were really nice guys, and they just told us to leave, you know, and they were like, well, we're going to be patrolling here, you know, and they took down our names and this and that. So I'm not going to be going back there, that's for sure, because I don't need to get a ticket. You know, I've had my fair share of skateboarding tickets, you know, and there's a lot of that. Like they just built a skate park in Eden Gardens, in between Del Mar and Encinitas area. That place was the biggest place to get busted. You can pull up the Plan B skateboarding video at the very end, and you can see 50 skateboards going in the back of a cop car because, or maybe it's only like 20, you know, man, probably blowing it out. But, you know, all these kids got their skateboards taken for hanging out at the spot. And then the irony is, what do? They build a skate park right there. You know, it doesn't make any sense to me at all.
No,
Yeah,
and I
and in
hate
Howie's,
that.
Howie's case, it's literally right in the neighborhood where all the kids skated anyway. I'm sorry, Joe, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say I hate that. Kids need something to do. And if they're not hanging out at a skate park, they're going to be outside of 7-Eleven. I know where I want my kids. I want them in a skate park over that. Quickly, Jesse, Willie Wilson wants to know if you stay in touch with Mike Garcia, an old school skater from Del Mar Skate Park. Del Mar.
Probably yes. For some reason, I don't have the text showing up on my phone. I see it there. Hey, Jesse. I don't know. I'm new to this thing, but I probably do. I hang out with a crew called the Old Bros, so I'll give them their shout out, Old Bro, and it's the Old Bro crew, and Bill Billings, he runs that, and he used to run the Del Mar Skateboard Park, and if you want to find it on the internet, the Doug Marker Show, and Doug Marker hosts skate hangouts at multiple skate parks around the area. And, you know, like I said, I'm 45, and these guys are all 50 something or 60. You know, my friend Tim Brayton, he's 62, and he's still just shredding, you know. It's, you know, especially for 62. You know, he's not flying, you know, humongous airs out of the bowl, but it's a really good crew of dudes, and it's just all about hanging out, you know, having a good time. And, you know, yeah, we all go to the different skate parks. And, you know, I also support the Slappy crew because we all still skate curbs. Because in the 80s, when I started skating, all the skate parks closed. So there was nowhere to go, you know, so we all had to start skating curbs.
And how beautiful is it now, though, you know, after all these years have passed, that you're still able to get together with your homeboys, if you will, and do what you were doing, knowing that you're all in good health, and blessed enough to be able to do that. I know that's the way I feel anytime I get together with my old bandmates, things like that. It's a beautiful thing. But, you know, as far as practicing the craft, how do you feel about the future of skateboarding? Do you think there's going to be an upswing? Is it going to decline? What do you think the next generation of skateboarding is going to be like?
It's really hard for me to judge that from what I see, what's going on, because I don't have a TV. I mean, I have a TV, but like I use like YouTube and
I feel you. Yeah.
whatever, and I don't want to pay for cable. I have like the antenna free shit, which is mostly Mexican channels. So then I usually watch YouTube.
Do you speak Spanish? Do you understand when the Mexican shows come on?
I try, but I never learned Spanish. I was too dumb at English, so they told me to learn English at school and wouldn't let me take Spanish. It really pissed me off. I was like, what kind of education system is this? You know, and it still pisses me off, you know. And I went to the Poway Unified School District, which is the Poway San Diego, and they pride themselves in being all so freaking good. But
and you would have went to Mount Carmel, correct, Jesse, being from Penasquitos?
Okay. Yeah. So okay, we can go into that. So I grew up in Penasquitos, but I was on the north end. So when it came for me to go to Black Mountain or Carmel Mountain, they put me into some weird spot, and I went to school at Rolling Hills.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
And then I went from Rolling Hills to Rancho Bernardo at Mount Carmel, when they built the school for Rancho Bernardo High School. I went there, and I went there for a while. And to tell the truth, the teachers there were a bunch of dicks and kooks, and I got a transfer to go to Abraxas, and I went to Abraxas, and you know, the counselors were like, oh, why do you want to go to Abraxas? You know, there's no football team, there's nothing, this and that, blah blah. I went to Abraxas, and I got freaking free peanut butter and jelly sandwiches and milk at break, and you know, we played hacky sack at break, and we did whatever the hell we wanted. And
it was a great school.
You know,
yeah, I used to pick up many a bandmate from Abraxas, and they would just tell me how happy they were to be going to school there, because they knew they were amongst people not only in their neighborhood, but what they wanted to do. And the great thing about Abraxas was you had incredible freedom. So I'm with you on that, Jesse. Yeah.
I got skateboard credits.
You guys, is that Relaxes or Rebraxas? Rebraxas, you said?
Relaxes.
It's Abraxas. Yeah. I have no idea what it means.
Relaxes. Now, I got PE credits for skateboarding to school, you know, like
right.
It's like they didn't really have PE there. I mean, they did. You could try to play racquetball or tennis. You can't do that anymore, but you know, there's a garden there in the tennis court, which I've seen when I've driven by. But you know, my teacher Doc, he was this old dude. He would go smoke cigarettes after freaking break and whatever, and I'd be like, "Hey man, can you give me PE credits for freaking skating to school? I live in Penasquitos." You know, and that's a good skate. It's a good couple of miles, probably like 6 at least. I probably did 12 miles both ways, you know, or 6 miles and then one way 6 miles. But no, I appreciate it. It was pretty cool, and you know, I've always lived in Poway, and or not lived in Poway, but lived near it and skated all the spots. And you know, Meadowbrook. I went to Meadowbrook, and
so did I, my friend. Yeah, and that's some hill, isn't it?
Oh yeah, and you know, we probably even went to Meadowbrook at the same time. I'm not sure how old you are, but you know,
I'm older than you, my friend, but I appreciate that. Just saying, I really do. But yeah,
Senior
you know,
Hill and all that shit at Meadowbrook.
right, and the bowling alley. You know, I mean, the kids, I actually work there. The kids I used to see who were your age, Jesse, I mean, it was all about skateboarding to them. It was their way of life, and it was a beautiful thing. It's something I haven't seen in this town in a long time. Makes me kind of sad.
Well, the thing is now is that I would say, it's not up to the parents, because people do what they want to do and kids do what they want to do. But a lot of parents, like I said, they don't understand the whole skateboarding culture, so they buy their kids a scooter.
Yeah.
And then they go to the skate park with their kid with a scooter who's never ridden. And their kids just run rampant around the park, and they don't understand, what's going on. But, it is what it is. I rode a scooter back when, you would probably remember when they had freaking air tires and mag wheels and brakes.
Yeah, I had one of those. Back brake and had the pegs and air tires.
Jesse, I got to give you credit for what you just said too, because it puts it in perfect perspective for somebody who wasn't a skateboarder per se, but I used to surf, and I would compare it to somebody buying a boogie board and calling themselves a surfer.
Right. No, I did my fair
analogy, Jesse. Very well done.
I've done my fair share of boogie boarding. I never got into surfing, and even I'm a longboarder, and everybody's like, "Oh, dude, you got surf style." But unfortunately, living in Penasquetus, even though we are close to the beach, the price of a surfboard just seemed too much. And there's that vibe out in the ocean. The surfer guys are dicks, unfortunately.
Some of them, not all of them, but
surprise. So they're portrayed properly in movies.
Yeah, you just have to remember it's their ocean, and you're cool.
You'd have to watch the Dogtown documentary if you want to learn a little bit about the skateboard culture. And it's pretty much a swayed movie on the Los Angeles culture of skateboarding. But really, in reality, I've met a lot of people, and they're like, shoot, those Dogtown guys, they weren't the guys innovating. We were doing it too. So it's two different sides, and basically it's based mostly on California, it's you got north and you have south, but either way, where we go, it's like when I was telling the officer when he was asking me about why am I doing slappies or whatever, I said, you're gonna have to understand, man, we are in the skateboard mecca of the world. So if the kid's skating at the Vons riding the curbs, that's what he's doing. He doesn't want to go to the skate park. And maybe the skate park, they got too many rules. You have to wear a helmet. You got to wear all these pads. Skateboarding isn't about that. If you're smart enough to wear pads because you're going to eat shit, wear pads. I don't say don't do it, but if you're skating a curb, you don't need elbow pads and knee pads unless you're Tommy and you're 4, or 5.
Or me.
Yeah, maybe you.
I need
sure.
Bubble wrap. I need everything if I'm skating a curb. You guys, I just want to remind you, you are watching Freedom to Rock live every Friday at 6 o'clock Mountain Standard, 5 o'clock Pacific, here, powered by Stables Media. Powered by who? Who? Cammy, you're not
JP38.
You guys have been doing a great job.
And StreamYard.
Okay, Jesse, I've got a lot of questions actually coming into my phone and not on there, which I don't know why they're not wanting to put their names up. So I do have one quickly from Stephanie. She wants to know if you've ever skated at Bob Burnquist's big ramp in Vista. He had a huge skate park in his backyard. So I'm going to show everyone. She sent me the picture. That you skated that?
I skated his wood ramp He had a wood ramp, which is the same ramp that he has. And I skated when it was wood. I haven't talked to him recently. He recently concreted the whole ramp and made it like a concrete bowl, which is pretty rad. I'd like to skate there. I haven't talked to any of my friends that have tried to go there recently. And he has like a metal pipe that he got donated to him that he had to ship in. And then he has a super ramp. And in my old age, I'm afraid to drop into something that's 2 feet stories tall to launch across the freaking 80-foot gap. Because I
You got to
don't
be able to
train
walk the
like
next day.
Yeah, and I don't train like that. If I trained and did it, it wouldn't be an issue. In my good days of my skateboarding, I would have been like, let me in on that shit. But to drop into something that's like 2 stories high and launch across a gap that's 80 feet long and then hit a quarter pipe that's 18 feet tall or more and then do an air, because you're going to be doing air because
Oh,
you're
yeah.
going like almost
So fast.
40 miles an hour, 50 at least plus, yeah, depending on how your drop in is. So that's why if anybody's ever watched Bob Burnquist, he wears, elbow pads, knee pads, wrist guards, and gloves and long sleeves because, if you launch across the ramp at 60 miles an hour and take a slam, it's not going to be good, And like I said, in my older age, I try to skate smaller stuff and keep it safe. I have a friend who has a mini ramp. We go skate that. I have a few different friends have little concrete bowls. They let me skate that, and it's a lot safer. It's more leisurely. I don't enter contests anymore. I'm kind of over that. I probably should, and I probably should step up my game. I skate avidly though. I skate like 3 to 4 days a week, and the days that I do skate, I skate for 3 to 4 hours at least, if not more. On the weekends, I might put in 6 hours at Oceanside Skateboard Park. I would be skating Poway Skateboard Park, but there's just too many scooter kids and too much madness. It's
Too many people.
It's crazy. It's just crazy with the scooter kids. They just don't understand what it is. It's like they just drop in, and then you might have your football dad trying to run like cross interference because their kid's gonna eat shit. So they're running across the park with their arms spread out, all watch out for my kid. And it's like, well, for one, your kid should learn how to freaking scoot first, and go there. It's a crazy thing. I don't want to discount the scooting, and it's cool that they can do it, and they have fun. I'm not into it. I've just been a skateboarder all my life. And then aside from that, I went from skateboarding to longboarding, which is different. Everybody rides a 32-inch board. They can go buy an Anti-Hero, Powell, whatever. They all look the same. There's nothing in it. And longboarding has brought me to Japan, Texas, Arkansas, like all kinds of, different states, Arizona, wherever. And the longboarding aspect of it has been cool because it's a different style of skateboarding, but I was bringing the aspect of skateboarding to it instead of where like the average guy, like as a surfer, you might call a Barney going down the boardwalk. You know what I mean? Who they don't know what they're doing. So they need to be on the boardwalk. It's great for the Barney on the boardwalk. Don't take the Barney to the skate park because they don't know how to skate.
No.
Don't bring, little Timmy and Tommy with your scooter or your skateboard to the skateboard park until you at least teach them how to ride, because
You got to have the
they actually
fundamentals before they
become,
do it.
yeah, because they're more of like like it's like having insurance, and they don't, and you're
Yeah,
old
well,
or
they can hurt themselves and they can hurt other skaters and things like that. So just going across
yeah,
lines and stuff.
and
So
they don't know what they're doing, and so all of a sudden they don't have comp and collision,
yeah,
and
yeah,
you're bigger than them, and their mom or dad is going, "What the heck? You hit my kid!" And it's like, well, I rolled in, and I had my line, like when you drop into a wave or whatever, and you see your line, you see where you're going. I was at Ocean Beach Skate Park last weekend, and I almost collided with my friend, and also a little girl on a bike with training wheels. And I'm like, oh my God, I don't want to hit this little girl,
yeah.
And then I see my friend, and I'm like, holy shit, he's coming at me too. And we're both going in at the same direction. And everything was fine. Little girl didn't get hurt. He didn't get hurt. I didn't get hurt. But
That's dangerous for sure.
the aspects of parents, they don't think, and they think, well, oh, I want to bring my kid to the skate park. Well, think about what you're doing before you do this stuff, because it's idiotic sometimes. It's, she's 5 or 6. That's cool. Maybe she knows how to ride a bike, but don't bring her to a place where there's like
No.
people trying to, do their thing. Like Poway Park is a great park. It's really smooth. It's nice. It's great. Ocean Beach is trash because it was built, 20 years ago, and it's dilapidated.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
that doesn't matter either way. I mean, there's Linda Vista Park that just got built, and City Heights. But, they build these parks in the worst places. Like, I don't know if you guys know any of this stuff, but like at Linda Vista Park, it was about a year ago, some kid was getting chased for wearing a blue shirt, because obviously he wasn't a blood or something like that, and getting shot at the skateboard park. And,
Yeah,
what
not
the hell is
first
that?
time either,
And
Jesse. You're right. I mean, this has been happening in this town for ages. Sure. It's the same with youth sports. You hear the horror stories all the time, but I think that goes really in any part of this state, really. One of those things you can't avoid.
yeah,
Poway
it's
still-
where we live.
Yeah, exactly.
But we live in paradise.
Yeah, absolutely. No, we do. There's a lot going for us,
it
right? It's a little
rained
harder
today.
to skate. It's a little harder to skate in YYC this time of year, isn't it?
Yeah,
guys?
you have to limit your skateboarding to about 3 months a year.
Right. Right.
Absolutely. So, you guys, if I can change the subject, I've actually had 3 texts to my personal phone asking me if I can ask Jesse a question on the type of
Anything you want.
the type of weed that you smoke. And it's 3 different people want to know what kind of weed you're smoking. They said it's freedom. We always say what we're drinking. They want to know what strain of weed that you smoke.
I have some Maui Wowie in this jar right here. See the jar. I don't buy from the pharmacy. I have friends that grow weed, like like anybody would kill for this bag right here. It's just some crappy
a big
weed,
bag.
but it's a football sized bag. You can roll joints for days.
It's worthy of stir the pot, right, Joe?
Yeah, exactly.
But
right.
if I worked for a weed pharmacy for a while, and delivered weed. My favorite weed is probably like sour diesel or something like that. I don't know if they want to know. And I guess just any good weed. I smoked weed since high school when we got brick bags of weed with mold in it and shit like that. So
Doesn't sound too good.
no, it wasn't. But for the price, it was. But nowadays I can get the same stuff for the same price. And it's better. I am a really big stoner. I smoke a lot of weed. I drink beer, and I try to skate. And it's probably why I'm unemployed right now, because unfortunately I just lost my job because people don't like my lifestyle or something. I'm not sure. Like, I look like white trash. I got long hair. I got a beard. I'm not exactly sure what's going on, but I'll hopefully have perspectives for a new job on Monday. And I hope to sell some skateboards. They're going to make some more. And I don't know. I'll keep living my lifestyle because I skate, I ride ditches, pools, bowls, and I ride a longboard. So I'm not your average skateboarder. The average skateboarder rides a little 32-inch board that you can go buy. Anybody can go buy it at Tilly's or whatever. And I have my pro model. I thought I might have shown it, but here it is again. It's the Beastie Boys graphic.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I
like that one.
Licensed material. There he goes.
Oh, it's beautiful.
It's a remake. It's a remake on my original Gravity board, but Gravity changed owners and they didn't have the original graphics, so they had to redo it, which is fine. It doesn't bother me, It was my top selling board. So when I got back on the team, or they wanted to reestablish the company, they were like, well, what do you want to do? And I was like, well, this is the top selling board, so I might as well do that one. It's try to make some sales game. Not that I'm not worried about it. I have a job. Well, I don't have a job right now, but I will soon, hopefully. And
absolutely, you will.
Of course you will. So, hey, Jesse,
no, I should
go ahead.
You will.
No, go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to ask. Skateboarding. I know how much music means to the skateboarding community, and obviously that's going to pull me to this question. What did you listen to then? What do you listen to now? Is there a particular genre of music that you enjoy most when you're skateboarding? Because I'm a punk rock guitar player, and I used to hear a lot from the skateboarding community how much they loved that kind of music. How about you personally?
I'm really into the OG punk rock. I mean, I listened to Suicidal Tendencies when it was considered hardcore. And now I think it's pretty well, because they went too funk, and they're just too funky. Red Hot Chili Peppers was super rad, and then they went too lame. I listened to Agent Orange. I like old Metallica, Megadeth, metal and stuff like that. I've been getting into other music nowadays because we do have these cool music things like Spotify and whatever, that you can just type in a genre or a name, I love Talking Heads, The Police, and all that. But there's other newer bands that you can find. Like, there's a really cool band if you're into the genres that I'm talking about, called Metalachi. And
yeah, I know them very well.
Yeah, they do a Mexican mariachi of, Queen and Metallica.
It's a hybrid. It's very, very cool. Yeah, props to you, Jesse. Yeah.
They do a really good job. If you're into bluegrass and you want to listen to some cool shit, I recommend Iron Horse. Iron Horse covers a lot of Metallica and other bands. Steve and the Seagulls is another good one. You can look at the Pickin' On series, and the Pickin' On series will bring you to like all that stuff, and they're just covering songs. They're not original. Maybe some of them are, but it's really cool covers. I don't know. It's stuff because I grew up learning or listening to like the Beatles and Rolling Stones, all that stuff. And, it's another really cool band if you want to dive deep. I don't know exactly how it's spelled at the moment, but it's Los Psychos, and they're a band from South America. I can't give the direct area, and it's Psycho spelled with a C-I or something like that.
Oh, cool.
If you type it in, you can find it. And they're like original punk rockers from back in, I don't know, probably the 80s or 70s. I'm not exactly sure.
Very
but
cool.
It's Los Psychos. So if you're into punk rock, you would find them, I'm friends with guys from Agent Orange, the drummer from Agent Orange. I'm pretty cool with him. They've changed band members and stuff. So it's that. I don't know if you ever heard of the band Nihilist that came out of like Carlsbad.
Sure.
They were pretty freaking rad. I was friends with some of those guys.
Yeah, it's a great melding of the two
music.
communities, the skateboarding community, the music community. I'm well acquainted with all of that, certainly. So, Joe, any more questions out there for our guest?
You know what? There has been a couple coming in. Willie was saying that they grow weed in old tennis courts. Have you heard anything at a bar? I don't know. There's too many A's in that word. Can you guys see it? They grow. Have you, there's too many A's.
I don't think they're growing any.
No, he's talking.
I don't think they're growing any weed at Abraxas.
About with the community farm that they have in front of Abraxas High School, and props to them, right? Yeah.
Oh, exactly. No, I think we've gone over.
It's a community field. It's
absolutely. Greno is trying to come in here, so he's going to be in here in a second. We'll let him in as soon as his device is connected.
Fabulous.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. Jesse,
who's trying to get in?
Greno.
Our man G-Money. Yeah. We got a couple premieres.
Should I stay or do I need to go?
No,
that's completely up to you, my man.
As long as you want, it's up to you.
You're more than welcome to hang.
You've been awesome tonight, so we appreciate it.
No, I'm
Jesse,
cool. I don't have much going on.
Yeah, and when you said that, as soon as you said that, the song "Should I Stay or Should I Go Now" came in my head. It's just playing in my head. That's what my head.
That's right. It's a great song.
It is. It's a great song, Vinny. I wish you could have sung that as soon as I thought it.
Oh man, it's funny you should mention the Clash because Greno and I, we do a Clash cover, right? Right, G-Money, how are you?
Nice.
What's up, people?
We were just talking a little Clash.
Hey, happy Friday.
I think we got a
Have
little
you heard
bit
of
Yeah, I think we got a little bit of a lag there.
Have you heard of Joe Strummer's Los Mescaleros?
Oh yeah, the Mescaleros are fabulous, man. I like them almost as much as I liked their work with the Clash. To be honest with you, I thought it was really heady. So, yeah, props. Love the Mescaleros. Shame Joe's no longer with us, but big Clash fan.
Yes. Awesome.
Let's see if we can get him back in here. Okay. As soon as he comes back in, I'll bring him back in. He's just having some technical difficulties. I can't say difficulties on a Friday night.
Difficulties.
Again,
it's difficulties.
Yeah. Can you please say that word for me forever? I'm having
technical difficulties.
Perfect. So you guys, it is Friday. It is Freedom to Rock. You are listening to us. We're
powered by Stables Media.
Thank
you.
Got it out for you.
You would have forgotten.
Awesome.
I would have forgotten because it's the hardest part.
She keeps
If you
taking
want,
my
I
line.
can-
I
I
have
can
one
jab
line
it
in this
before
one
Steve
show,
goes
and it's to be saying "powered by Stables Media," and Joe keeps trying to take it away from me. One
got-
line, Joe.
Yeah,
Okay.
man, you got to pay your dues. I told
Yeah.
you that, brother.
Like,
man,
come
Not
on.
to hand it to you here.
Stop trying to show
well-
me up here.
Before you rudely interrupted me, I was going to say we're here every Friday at 5 o'clock Pacific Standard, 6 o'clock Mountain Standard. We're on for an hour and a half. And Cami P, take it away.
With what? Oh, who we're powered by? Stables Media.
There we
Stables
go.
Media.
See?
Stables Media.
Hey, who are we powered by?
Powered by Stables Media. And
Atta girl.
Tony Russo is on a couple of assignments tonight. He might jump back in. He is renting. G-Money is in the house. Yes, we're trying to get Grano back on. Hopefully he gets on here. You guys, our guest tonight is Jesse Parker. He is a renowned skateboarder in the Poway area. Poway area, correct?
Longboarder.
Legend
Longboarder,
of the
I
sorry.
actually live in Escondido, but I'm from the area. I grew up in Penasquitos. I lived there for 18 years, maybe more.
Oh, wow.
Somewhere around
Sounds
there.
full of superstars, guys. Yeah, wait till you make your visit down south. You won't believe the celebrities you'll meet. You'll meet Jesse Parker. You know,
Yeah, I
You
can't
might
wait.
meet me at the pump track.
I promise I won't bring my children who don't know how to skateboard to get in your way.
If you want your kids to learn how to skate, I'm definitely.
He's just saying.
I will
He's
help
just
you.
saying, learn how to skateboard before you just throw your kid in the middle
I
of the
know.
skateboard park. So there's
I know.
Yeah,
there's people that are
you can't-
expert level, and then there's beginners, right? And you just can't throw beginners right in front of a bunch of people that are cutting in, right? So
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah,
So I
it's
can't
like,
try there either. It would be
teach it-
terrible.
teach your kids to ride on the streets, and then once you think that they're proficient enough to ride and skate, or get them skate lessons. I have friends that do it, or maybe I might need to do it since I lost my job. But just you gotta teach your kids the ins and out of skateboarding. It's the same thing whether you're riding a bike or you're surfing and you're hitting a big wave, and you need to make sure it's clear before you go. It's like when you were taught as a kid and your mom said, look both ways before crossing the street. It's pretty simple. Obviously Timmy and Tommy and Jane and whatever, your kid, you bring them there with their scooter and their bike and all that stuff. They just need to know that they need to look both ways before crossing the street. It's fairly simple, in my opinion, but not every parent sees that. And then you go to the skate park and you're like, why is this kid on training wheels coming into the skateboard park? They're on training wheels still. They don't even know how to ride the bike, let alone navigate going over a bank or through a pocket or corner, whatever you want to call it. I don't know how everybody identifies with skateboarding because like I said, I met with the cops last week and they asked me what slappies were. So unless you know what a slappy is, you don't know. And it's understandable, but it's the whole situation on things. It's I'm sure people didn't understand surf culture back in the day, or when kids all of a sudden started taking their bikes and going and building dirt jumps and things like that in people's backyards because it was empty space, because when we grew up, there was the canyons to hang out and smoke weed and drink beer and have a bonfire and ride our bikes and do dumb shit, where kids nowadays, they don't even have that, it's really weird. I went to, I'm born from Wisconsin. Okay. So my whole family basically lives in Wisconsin, but I grew up in California since I was like 2 or 3, I don't know, something like
Yeah.
that. And I went back there and I was talking to my aunt, whatever you want to call them. And I was like, so if I wanted to go ride my dirt bike, where could I go? You think you're in Wisconsin and you're in nowhere land. Like my phone didn't have cell phone service. I was relying on her Wi-Fi at her house to try to even do anything or figure out anything. And she's like, oh no, you can't ride in there. You can't ride there. It's all private property. And you're like, wow, because even, I live in Escondido. I can drive to Valley Center. I could drive to maybe even parts of Poway, I think back Garden Roads or something like that and ride my dirt bike, or I can go, a little bit further out in Escondido and there's sections where I can still ride my bike. It might not be legal,
And getting harder to
because,
find all the time. Yeah.
well, that and we live in California, so, you can't have any fun. So,
Right.
let alone you want to crack a beer by the boardwalk, you're going to fucking get a ticket. But it's still a little bit more free around here than even back there where I went, because I was like, what's there to do around here? There's nothing. And where can you go? It's all private property. I mean, my aunt lives on a lake, so I could go drive the pontoon boat around if my uncle would have let me or something like that. Not that I was trying to, but skateboarding wasn't going on. The skate parks were way, way, way bad. Just not even worth like saying, hey, I would come here. There was one park in a place called Sturgeon Bay where it was like an hour or something like that from my aunt's house. And it was a really nice park. And I went there in the middle of the day and there wasn't anybody there. So I don't know. I mean, I skated around. I had some fun, but skateboarding's kind of a group sport.
Mm-hmm.
As much as it's antisocial, or not quite so social, because you don't need more than one person to play the game. I mean, you can just skate by yourself. But I went there and there was a couple of guys at the park, and I skated with them for a minute, and I had my aunt and my mom sitting in the car watching me, waiting for me to be done. And, it wasn't like that great of a scene where if you go to Poway Skateboard Park, or if you drive to Oceanside and go to Alex Road, or if you go to the park that they call Poods, which is like the Encinitas Skateboard Park, or any of the ones around here, there's a really big scene. You can go to Oceanside and the people will be there at sunup. They're there. And I don't know about Poway's hours. They've been weird. They've built like fucking 5 fences or 3 fences around the park. So it depends on who opens it. I mean, it had a thumbprint recognition thing to let you in, which I thought was ridiculous. So I didn't go there. I was pissed off. But then somebody broke it and then they ended it. But most of the skate parks, there's no confrontation. The skaters aren't beating up each other. They're not trying to fight. They just want to skate. Where, say, like if you were surfing out at some popular surf beach, you might have a surfer guy yell at you because you snaked him and you took his wave or whatever. It's like most skaters just want to be friends. It's
Sure.
It's a pretty mellow thing, and you're stoked to find somebody else who wants to ride with you. And with me, because I'm a longboarder, I get longboard vibes because I'm the longboarder. I'm not riding the average board. So some people are like, "Ooh, what are you doing in here, kook?" And then they see me skate, and then it's like, "Oh, okay, never mind." But I was in Oregon at Burnside, which maybe you guys haven't heard of. some of you may have, skating Burnside Park, which is the original do-it-yourself skateboard park built by the skaters for the skaters. And I was skating there one time in the morning, and I'm skating across the course with the camera because I was trying to film my friend, and the guy like vibed me out. He's like, "Oh, what are you doing, kook?" And I'm just like, "I don't know what you're talking about, man. Sorry I got in your way." And then I skated, and then he's like, "Oh, okay." Because when you see a guy on a longboard, you think of the person that's just going down the boardwalk on some flat board that you don't do tricks on. Big soft wheels, and it's a great cruiser. They're fun, but that's not the skateboarding I do. I ride a skateboard that looks like a 32-inch skateboard grown. Like it expanded. You dropped water on it and it freaking expanded. And I've been doing it for a long time. I've done it probably as much as when I was a kid and I was riding, small boards. Like, I had a little plastic skateboard with, bearings that you had to like put the bearings in the cup and all that shit. That's how long I've been skateboarding, fiberglass flat things, so I've seen it all.
Yeah, you just keep doing what you're doing, brother, because you've made our city proud. So really want to thank you for your time, Jesse. Guys,
I try my best.
Yeah, keep doing what you're doing, my man.
Be there. Poway Park, Penasquitas Park wouldn't have been there. Rancho Bernardo Park never got built. We did the meetings for that. I guess that town just hates skateboarding. I'm not sure, but I've been. I don't know. I can't say I'm a pillar of society because I'm a skateboarder, and you
just keep doing what you're doing and be good to the cause. Be good to yourself, Jesse. Thanks for your time, man.
Absolutely. It was a pleasure having you.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. So,
anybody
Greno
else have any cool questions? I can tell you all kinds of.
How are you, Greno?
What's up? Happy Friday. Freedom to
Right. Greno, meet Jesse.
What's that?
Meet Jesse.
Jesse, nice to meet you. Joe, great to see you as always. Vinny G, you're my man. How's everybody doing on this Friday?
Fabulous.
It's a great Friday.
Awesome. Yeah, I've been checking out the show, Jesse. Man, it's an honor to just hear all your stories and everything. I was a young skater, and just some of your other just great stories that you have, man. I really appreciate everything that you've done, and it's just awesome to hear other Poway people talk about their thing, and like it's great. You talked about Agent Orange, and actually played a show with them a few years ago. Wonderful people, and I know you said you know the drummer Dave, so that's awesome, man. Did we lose?
I think we're losing him there. Yeah.
We're losing him.
Anyways, yeah. Well, what's up, gang?
Yeah, big weekend, Greno. Tell us what's up for Sunday.
Oh, we got the Sunday Spin back on board, right? Stables.
Can't wait.
Media Howard. We're so excited. Yeah, so not this Sunday because it's the Heart Day.
Right.
For some, not for all, but let's hope there's a lot of love for everybody, and that's all that matters. And so yeah, a week from Sunday. And Vinny, we're going for the 2 o'clock now, right? We have a
right new time
Pacific, and yeah, it's going to be a very special guest on the Sunday Spin. A friend of mine named and a friend of Vinny's as well. A guy named Brian Elio who goes by the moniker Mob Individual, and he makes ambient music. So it's very
like 719, you might even say.
Absolutely. So it's textured ambient with guitar and a lot of effects. So very unique. He may perform for us, he may not, but yeah, we've got a lot to talk about. He's also he's so talented. He's got so many things going on. A great professional life in architecture, and yeah, so we've got a lot to cover. It's going to be super exciting. And then also, Vinny, I think I told you already, Stir the Pot next week.
Stir the pot. Yeah, and I'm glad we got Jesse back because Jesse, we were telling Jesse a little bit about your show.
Yeah.
Yeah, tell Jesse a little bit about Stir the Pot, Greno.
Cannabis related podcast. And yeah, we have people that work in the industry. I mean, I live in Colorado, so I've been working in the industry about 10 years.
Oh, you're in it.
Yep. So just, friends that are growers, people that I worked with in the industry, all sorts of folks, musicians, skateboarders. Let's get you on, Jess. Definitely. But yeah, we just try and spread the positive
open
cannabis.
Yeah, I see it as a match made in heaven having Jesse on the show. So
it would be
terrific.
Fantastic.
Hopefully work out. This is brought to you by Priority Longboards.
Awesome.
One of the companies. I can't even fucking show it. What the hell's the problem? Yeah, these guys are some Brazilians, and they damn phone. What the hell? They support me and give me some free shirts and T-shirts and hats and junk.
Awesome.
I got a little bag here, but they're really small. But I hope that they can get something going.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, I'm weed related. I mean, yeah, fuck, I can talk to you about weed. I delivered it for a few years, and I've eaten pot cookies, and usually edibles don't do anything for me, so I smoke it, and that's about it.
Sure, man.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, we'll link up after the show and get the contact info, and I'd love to have you on. It'd be a pleasure, man. It'd be great. And then Vinny, I think I told you too, we've got the non-educational version coming up as well of Stir the Pot. That's going to be Stir the Pot 4.20. And that'll just be on with our boy Aaron Pierce.
Yeah, I can't wait.
On and roll up some chops for us and get crazy. But
things are looking up, right?
Hey, I gotta give some love to Tony. I know that he's going through a hard time right now, so I want to give a shout out to my brethren. Carmen Ronzani, this week I kind of crowned Tony as Carmen Ronzani.
Carmen Ronzani, yeah.
I watched Bad News Bears and Breaking Training recently, and I'm like,
which I think is a very, very underrated movie. Personally, thought it was great, man. William
I don't
Devane,
think I watched that one actually.
Oh, dude, it's great.
It's badass. Yeah.
I've watched Bad News Bears, but not.
Yeah. Don't waste your time.
Tony
The third one. The third one is horrid.
The theme song too, the Life is Looking Good or whatever.
Oh yeah, absolutely. But the third one is horrific. Don't waste your time.
Oh, I know, it's terrible. With Tony Curtis.
Yeah, they go to Japan.
Come on, man.
Horrible.
Hey, yeah. Vinny, I thought of you the other day. The Glenn Campbell show was on.
The Glenn Campbell Good Time Hour.
Yes, and dude, but it was a trip. The Monkees were on.
Yes.
But it was no Peter Tork.
No, it was very late in their career. Yeah. Peter had left the band, and it was right before Mike left the band.
Oh, dude, it was so funny because
it was terrible.
Davey was like playing the bass, like trying to look like he was playing the bass, but
couldn't even reach the strings. Right?
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Well, guys,
I love some music.
I hate to cut it short, but we're kind of at the time limit, and unfortunately, we lost Joe too because I was really hoping. I wanted to get some congratulations into my soul sister for Hustle and Grind. Oh, there she is.
Hustle and Grind, baby.
I wanted to tell you how amazed we are.
Yes.
I came back and you were talking about me. It was really eerie. I sat down, put my earphone in. I'm like, you didn't lose me. I just had
creepy as hell. I'm giving you accolades behind your back right now. I wanted to congratulate you on Hustle and Grind.
Yes.
What a fabulous show. Tell us about next Monday's show because it's a runaway, girl. Congratulations.
Oh, thank you. So Monday night, we're going to be talking about some of the leans we have for the week coming up. There's some great games next week and what we're liking and what we're hoping you guys can learn in the sports betting world, because a lot of people don't know how to read the lines. They don't know how to look at line movement. So we're looking to teach you guys that as well. So it should be a fun show. At this point, I'm not positive if we're going to have a guest, but we might have a guest on there. We're looking to bring in some athletes that can give some insight and a different take, like when you're looking at betting, because I know for myself, I do sell my picks, and Hustle and Grind, we do sell our picks as well. And when I talk to these athletes, they tell me so much more without even knowing they're telling me something. Like, you never bet for the away team in Miami, because those boys, when they get to Miami, they have so much fun that they don't even expect to win the next day. So don't bet on them. Little insights like that.
They can have fun in Miami. I'm telling you, that place is terrible.
Miami.
I've been to Jacksonville. I did skateboard camp in Jacksonville, and it rained every day at 4:20, which was cool because I got a break to smoke some weed and have a beer. But it was humid as hell, and you didn't even want to go outside. So I don't even know what makes you want to have fun playing out there.
Well, it's the nightlife in Miami, right? The nightlife suckers those guys in, and they don't make curfew, and they get in trouble, and they don't play their best the next day. That's why Tom Brady could never win in Miami. He always had issues there. He's lucky all the Super Bowls weren't in Miami. So,
Well,
Well,
it's a runaway hit, Joe, and I'm really proud of you.
Yeah.
Greno, same with Stir the Pot, same with the Art Channel, and by golly, Sunday Spin. So
Woo!
y'all
Thanks,
have
Joe.
a great weekend. I got nothing else for you. We're up against the time. I love you guys. Thanks for tuning in. And yeah, Greno,
Joe, you gotta break down what a teaser is for me on Monday. I gotta learn.
absolutely.
I'm a
Yeah.
cheeser.
And love to our man T-Bone, right?
Jesse,
Love you.
I will
Thank
message my
you.
team.
Awesome. You
Yeah.
guys are great. Thank you so
Teaser
much.
Monday. Thank you so much. You guys have a wonderful evening and enjoy the weekend.
You
Right.
too.
Good luck on Sunday. Bye, guys.
Keep toning
Bye.
the crags. Love you guys.
Love you guys.